Did you know there's actually plants that can revitalize and remediate soils that have been contaminated with toxins and hydrocarbons, oils and gases, and heavy metals? Let me show you the plants that specialize in this and how they can be used to help remediate and revitalize soils that have been contaminated. So plants remediate soils in one of two ways. They either accumulate and extract the heavy metals and toxins from the soils and put it in their plant bodies, or they actually break down the toxins in the soils. So the accumulator plants take up the heavy metals in the soils. Those plants can then be harvested and taken away, and in some cases, those heavy metals can be smelted down and re-extracted from those plants. The great thing is these plants are like very common, sometimes weeds, trees, and grasses that can be found anywhere in America. Each plant has a different specialty, so depending on what your soil is contaminated with, whether it's cadmium or oils and gases or copper or heavy metals, there's different plants that specialize in extracting those certain compounds from the soil. Here I'm showing you some of the most successful plants that do a great job at this. We've got willows, which there's a couple different types of willows. There's black willow, green willow, there's the white weeping willow. We have pine trees down here, and then we have poplar trees. Poplar trees include tulip poplars, but also include trees like cottonwoods. We've got ryegrass, tall fescue grass, mustard and cabbage plants, and pennycress. These flowers, the sunflower, the red clover, the violets, and the alfalfa, all those are great for extracting heavy metals into their body. So obviously, the larger the plant, the more it can take up and break down in the soil and into its plant body. There's a certain point in the growth cycle in which you can add a chemical chelate. These chemical chelates create a negative charge which then attracts the positively charged metals to the plant. My theory is you can use an agriculture type system to remediate soils. This is a field in Canada that's an experimental phytoremediation system similar to the agricultural system that I discussed. This is a chart I created listing out each plant and the type of revitalization that it is best at. Each plant is good at either degrading or extracting particular pollutants in the soil. This is a list on what each plant specializes in breaking down or accumulating. The method currently most often used for cleaning up soils is just basically excavating all the topsoil away and then replacing it with new topsoil. This is extremely expensive and takes an extreme amount of heavy machinery. Phytoremediation is a safe, solar-powered, effective way to clean up soils. It takes a little bit more time usually, but after a couple of years, the soil will be safe enough for you to grow your own fruits and vegetables on and things that can be edible for you and your family. This is especially important for people who live in formerly industrial states and areas and regions, people who live in the Rust Belt from Pennsylvania to Ohio to Indiana to Michigan. And basically anyone who wants to grow their own food, you should always test your soil first to make sure that the soil is safe and effective and fertile. And this is a great way to make sure that the soil you're using is free of all toxins and heavy metals and pollutants before you start planting vegetables and stuffing that you will consume. So I'm Kiki Sticks. This is really important to me. I'm really passionate about plants. I have a degree in landscape architecture, and I'm going to be talking to you about different projects I've done over the years and different research things I've really invested a lot of time and energy into. So if you have any questions for me, you can always message me. I live in the Midwest, but I have lived all over the country and been everywhere, so I'd love to help you with your plant problems and make a more beautiful future for you.